Hey friends, Jennifer Booth from theplanningwoman.com. I want to share with you today a video that I created. I actually worked on this earlier this month in March, but it's about how I set up my planner monthly, weekly, and daily. Earlier this year I did a video on how I got my planner set up for the year, and now I want to walk you through how I use it on a monthly, weekly, and daily basis. So I hope you'll enjoy this, and I will put some links into some things I talk about throughout the planner. But come visit me on theplanningwoman.com and find more resources about how you can use your time more effectively. Thanks. Okay, let's get started. We will walk through the monthly setup first. Let me get over here to March. If you watched my other video that I recorded about a month ago on how I set up my planner for the year, you'll recall I talked about how I did not fill out the month, put anything on the month pages until I got to that month. If you'll see here on April, it's totally blank. I don't have anything there yet because I'm not to April yet. One of the reasons I keep it blank until the month is because you just never know when things are going to change before you get to that month. In fact, you may even notice up here I had an appointment scheduled, has been scheduled for several weeks, and then a couple of days ago I got a call that it needed to be rescheduled, so I had to mark it out and move it somewhere else. So I like to wait until the month begins before I fill out the month section. The steps I go through to just get my planner ready for the month: I first check my calendar on my phone. My calendar on the iPhone is the main one that I look at when I'm making appointments. This calendar is just a reminder of what is going on, and is a help to, as I plan my work, I can see what days are busiest and what's going on those days, so I don't plan too much on a day that I already have a lot of appointments. So after I check my calendar on my phone and fill out the monthly calendar, then I sometimes have been filling out this section for the goals and stuff, but I haven't really been doing that a lot lately. I use the Power Sheets by Laura Casey to keep up with my goals and things like that, and so I'm really, I don't know, I could put it here, but I really look at the Power Sheets every day and work on my goals out of that. So this part really is kind of redundant for me if I were to fill it out every time. So I haven't really been using that part very much. And then on the bottom in the notes section here, I list out tasks that I want to do this month. They don't have to be done on a certain date, but I just put these here so that I can remember to do them. Again, you may want to refer back to my video from January where I talked about my yearly planning setup and see more about how I set up this notes section, and I will put a link to that video below this post. And on this side I've recorded the coupons I have, store coupons, rebates, whatever that I have that are not yet expired and I have not used, so that helps me keep up with those. Okay, let's go on to the weekly planning. When I take this out of here, when I set up for the weekly planning, I check my monthly calendar first on the phone and then update the calendar in my planner if there are new things that need to be added. And then I fill out the appointment section for the week and make sure I have everything in there that I know of when I'm doing this planning. I usually try to do this on Saturdays, Sundays at the very latest, for the next week ahead. Then I write out my to-do list categories. I typically keep the same ones every week, but I like this planner in that it gives you the option to change out your categories for whatever you have going on. I use home, phone and errands, computer, and then on this page is more of my business activities, writing, social media, marketing, projects, and education. I have different online classes that I keep up with and want to make sure that I get some of those things done. And then once I have my categories set up, I move over any task from the previous weeks if necessary. So I don't have these marked here, but usually I'll go through and mark an arrow over on things that I need to go to the next week, and then we'll record them in their proper space under the right category. Then I look at these daily tasks here, and the ones that I have listed here this week are ones that are my standing weekly task, or that I do on these certain days every week. So I fill out these tasks on the day that I want to do them every week. So I know in my mind these things need to be done, and I know when I typically do them, but sometimes it's just helpful to have them on my to-do list for the day so I don't overload my schedule for the day. So I like to have those daily tasks written in. Then I look at my power sheets, which I told you about, from Laura Casey, and I see if there are any tasks related to the goals that I could do this week. And so that's what some of these goals are up here, or some of these tasks. They're related to some goals that I've set for the year. And then I just fill in other tasks that I know need to be done this week. And so this whole list up here, 7 different lists, constitutes what I'm trying to do over the course of the week. And so, most of these have no specific date they need to be done by. A couple of them do, and I try to filter those down into a daily task, assign them to a certain day when that is the case, when they do have a certain due date. But for the most part, they can be done anytime this week. So I like that because I've tried doing the daily pages before, where you just have 1 page per day, and where you just have to move over the task every day that you don't get done, and it just seemed like I'd have this endless list of tasks. I'd get 3 or 4 things done, then I have to arrow them over and move them over to the next day. And I love how I have this up here. It just gives me the guide for the week, and I don't have to worry about moving tasks over every day. So that brings me into the daily planning steps. I only fill out my task for the day the night before or the morning of that day. Unless it's something I've specifically assigned to that day, I know needs to be done that day, I don't assign any other task to the day until the night before or that morning. So, because like I said, you never know when your schedule's going to change. Something's going to pop up that you didn't anticipate, and you just need to be a little more flexible. And it helps me not to feel so defeated by writing out so many tasks for one day and then realizing I can't do them all. If I wait till the night before or day of, then I am more likely to have a more reasonable to-do list for the day. So I look at my schedule for the day and see what I have time to do. So on Mondays, you will very rarely see me have anything on my to-do list that's officially to do, that I've designated that day to do, because I work outside the home that day, and by the time I get home, wind down, do a few just routine chores around the house, and all of that, it's time to get dinner ready, and then we have dinner, and before you know it, it's time to go to bed. And my energy is drained, and I just really try not to schedule any task on Monday. So that's one way this daily planning has helped me out. And if something doesn't get done that I have on my to-do list for a day, I just leave it there unchecked. And every day I continually look back at my week so I can see what tasks are left undone. And this helps me, like I said before, from having to move those tasks over every day. Because that is just, to me, that's just so defeating to have to rewrite tasks over day after day. And if you don't get to them that week, then you have to move them to the next week. So this way I can just see what's left to be done, and usually by the end of the week they all get done in some way, or I decide they're not necessary to have been done. So that is just my basic plan for monthly, weekly, and daily planning. I find it to be simple. Maybe it looks a little complicated to you, but I just love this format of, like I said, having my 7 different to-do list by context, and then filtering down to a daily to-do list, and then working in my appointments. I just feel like when I open up my planner for the week, I have a full understanding of what's going on for the week and can make plans accordingly. When I'm asked to do something else, I can have a better idea of what work needs to be done, so I can say yes or no if I'm asked to help out somewhere else, or if my time is requested. And it also helps me to make more manageable to-do lists when I look at it this way. So if you are having trouble getting your time scheduled and you would like a little help in figuring this out, I am a certified life coach and time management consultant, so I would love to help you and work with you to get your calendar set up, to help you figure out how to schedule your task, maybe even figure out what it is you need to be doing and what it is you don't need to be doing so you can manage your life better. So please visit me at theplanningwoman.com, and you can click on my coaching tab and see information about my coaching packages and how I can help you out. I hope. I would love to work with you one-on-one if you need the help. So thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.